All right, guys, I want to talk to you about how to stay on track with your nutrition while you're on the road, whether you're traveling for work or if you're on vacation. I think this is a really timely topic for today because I'm currently in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm originally, right now, I live in Savannah, so I flew out here yesterday and I'll be here for the next week. And then after that, I'm flying to Kansas City for the fitness summit. So in sum total, I'm away from home for, I believe it's 11 days, but I'm not really worried about my nutrition. And I'll show you what I do to help me stay on track. Really, it just comes down to knowing where your weaknesses are for, when you're on the road. Do you tend to undereat protein? Do you tend to overeat carbs and fats? The answer is probably yes, because that is the easier thing to do. It's easier, especially when you're eating your meals out a lot. It can be trickier to get enough protein and whatnot, but I've traveled multiple times before and I've had no problem, when I was tracking my macros, I've had no problem nailing my macros. All it really took was some advanced planning. So my favorite thing to do when I'm on the road is to find, as soon as I can, get settled, whatnot, unpack your bags, but as soon as I can, I want to find a Whole Foods market nearby or something similar. I know a lot of the big cities will have a Whole Foods market relatively close, but I know for me in Savannah, the closest Whole Foods market is 30 minutes away. If you don't have a Whole Foods, you can just find a similar grocery store that offers healthy options, or probably a regular grocery store would probably work just fine also. So I just went to Whole Foods this morning, actually. I'm staying at my aunt's house in Phoenix for the week. And so I bought a few things. I bought some pre-grilled chicken so that I don't have to spend time cooking my own meals. This can be really convenient, especially if you're living in if you're staying in a hotel room or something and you don't really have the means to cook your regular meals, then you should buying pre-cooked meats, chicken, high quality deli meats, things like that. Even you can even buy hard-boiled eggs, I believe, nowadays at the grocery store. You can get those, stock up on that. Besides that, I bought some other meals just in case I find myself in a bind. So I picked up, also from Whole Foods, a salmon teriyaki bowl and then a chicken teriyaki bowl. So you'll notice that the meals that I tend to get are pretty much always centered around a protein source, whether it be chicken, salmon, steak, beef, pork, or whatever it may be. I also got a giant salad from the salad bar, and this is why I love Whole Foods, because you can go to the hot food section and make your own little container of food, which I love doing. So I threw in a bunch of veggies. I got cabbage, corn because I love corn, peppers. I've got chicken chunks, tuna chunks, and a lot of different vegetables in here. And I got this because I know for a fact that when I'm traveling, my veggie intake is horrific. So this is my way of preparing for that and being a little more proactive about my weak spots. So I've got that. Besides that, I will probably also throw in a few protein bars into my bag. I don't love protein bars in general. I prefer to eat Whole Foods most of the time. But, every now and then you may find yourself in a situation where you don't really have time to get a meal, or maybe you're on like a 6-hour drive. You don't want to stop by at a restaurant and you'd rather just chomp on a protein bar while you're driving. I like the Think Thin high protein bars. This one is cookies and cream, which I haven't actually tried yet. I just found it today. But you want to get the high protein version. These have 20 grams of protein per bar, which is really good for a protein bar. I like this one. I'm assuming this one tastes good. The other one that I really like is the high protein bar chocolate espresso flavor. So back at home, I have a box of those. So I'll carry a few of these with me. If you want, you can pack protein powder in little Ziploc baggies, like snack size bags. Especially if you're in contest prep or you have any other reason to have to be super strict with your diet, then it's probably worth bringing little Ziploc baggies of protein powder just in case. You can also pre-cook some other high protein snacks like turkey, meatloaf muffins, and other portable sources like that, that'll, you can just toss into your purse and go. I actually brought some, mostly because I was cooking a bunch of stuff on Tuesday and I didn't want to let it rot in the fridge, so I just brought it with me. Besides that, I think that when you're traveling, you will probably have to tinker with your regular nutrition strategies a little bit. For me, when I travel, I know that I normally consume about, between 4 and 5 meals a day. But when I travel, that normally becomes 3 meals, especially if I know that I'm eating out a lot. And, eating out, it tends to be a little more difficult to make healthier options. Yes, you can always get a salad pretty much anywhere. Yes, you can always ask for double meat, so double chicken, double steak, whatever it may be. But if you want to get, a grilled cheese or a grilled chicken dish with steamed vegetables, sometimes that comes with oil on it. And sometimes, you get extra grease and fats that you weren't really expecting. And so your meals typically end up being a little bit high calorie than they normally would be. So I think in that situation, it's worth considering condensing your meals maybe to 3 bigger meals a day to help with your satiety, and it'll also allow you to really partake in the experience. If you're on vacation, for example, you don't want to be missing out on all these fun foods, right? So I definitely don't think that you should opt for the healthier choice if it's going to make you miserable. If it's not going to hit the spot for you, if you know that eating a measly salad is maybe lower calorie option, yes, maybe it's the healthier choice, but if you're going to be bitter about it, and if you're going to feel further deprived after you have that salad, rather than ordering a burger and maybe leaving off the bun, or having a small handful of fries or something, then I don't think it's worth it. I think it's you really need to think about, is this how I want to live my days? Is this really helping me maximize my quality of life? So there's definitely a fine balance between how strict you want to be with your nutrition versus quality of life, general experience. I think that unless you're dieting for a contest, a show or something, then when you're traveling in general, I think the goal should be simple maintenance. So, you want to maintain your body weight and maintain your measurements as much as possible. I think that in general, dieting while on vacation is a little bit unrealistic. I mean, it can be done, but it does take a lot more work. Whether or not that's worth it to you, that's really up to you to decide. I can't make that choice for you. But just be aware that if you want to stay on track with your nutrition, it's absolutely possible. So identify your weak spots. Know where your nutrition tends to lack when you travel. Okay, for me, that's vegetables, lower on vegetables, and I tend to not really get as many high quality carbs and fats. So I try to work around that and try to be proactive about that by going to Whole Foods and spending a little bit extra money on buying jasmine rice and cooked meats and stuff like that. If you don't want to spend the extra money on something like a Whole Foods haul, then that's okay. That's up to you. That's your decision to make. There are always workarounds. There are always ways around to do it. But in general, I would say do not stress out about vacation. There's no need to go all out. This is not last chance syndrome, right? The food's not going anywhere. If you really love that cake you had today for dessert, you can always come back and have another slice tomorrow. There's no need to binge. There's no need to throw in the towel, right? Even though you're traveling and even though you may be on vacation, the calories that you consume still count. Your body still knows. It's not, oh, well, it's my birthday, or I'm in Hawaii now, so I can eat 3,000 calories a day and I can get away with it. No. Listen, if you want to do that, that's your choice to make, but understand that you are always accountable for your actions. All right? So if you don't want to come back a bloated mess, if you want to come back from vacation or from traveling still feeling good about yourself, then you're going to have to be a little more proactive about your efforts. A little bit of pre-planning, a little bit of more time and energy, finding a grocery store and getting the foods that you need. Be smart about what you order at restaurants. Choose a protein-heavy option, ask for double meat if needed, get some extra vegetables, offer something like steamed or baked potato or sweet potato or something like that when you can. But also don't forget to allow yourself to indulge every now and then. All right, so it's really not super, super complex. After you do this a few times, you go on a few trips and you allow yourself to practice these strategies with intention, after a few times, it just becomes a norm for you, and there's no need to feel anxious about traveling. There's no need to not trust that you have everything that you need to succeed already. It's all in the head, all right? So don't worry about it.